the United Nations. They had the first Global Forum on Migration and Development, GFMD, to talk about migration and development in terms of, again, it's more focused on the economic perspective. It was at first very closed doors. It was only governments who were talking. It was only themselves, whether they want to change their policies, whether they want to make things better in their perspective.
Jadi PBB waktu itu kemudian menggagas forum migrasi dan pembangunan. Jadi pembicaraannya lebih dengan perspektif ekonomi dan dilakukan oleh pemerintah sendiri.
But of course, as civil society, we want to make sure that we should be involved, because it's not right that they should only be discussing the issues on their own, especially if it's between and among governments. That's why as civil society, at that year in 2007, we also planned the People's Global Action on Migration, Development, and Human Rights, which is in short PGA, which is the other, which is now happen every year since 2007.
Karena yang membahas adalah antar pemerintah sendiri, maka waktu itu masyarakat sipil merasa harus terlibat karena tidak mungkin isu ini hanya dibahas oleh antar pemerintah saja. Maka kemudian masyarakat sipil memunculkan gerakan global tentang migrasi dan pembangunan.
So over the years since 2007, right, the GFMD was quite closed doors. But when we civil society tried to build their trust in a way that we try to share our inputs, our good practices, what can be recommended, as well as what are the gaps that we see that happens again at the national and international level. They slowly opened up to us to the extent that we are now part of their panel, that they have been engaging with us at least at the international level. And that goes both ways for the PGA, where we try to also open up that space to governments to try to see how we do things as civil society.
Jadi sejak 2007 masyarakat sipil kemudian melakukan advokasi ya dengan melihat kesenjangan kebijakan antara pemerintah nasional dan internasional, kemudian menyampaikan rekomendasi dan kemudian secara perlahan akhirnya pemerintah dan organisasi nasional mulai terbuka pada masyarakat sipil, dan tidaknya masyarakat sipil di tingkat internasional sudah berada di panel-panel dalam pembahasan ini dan terlibat di dalamnya.
So coming in here now, what I mentioned earlier, how media has highlighted in 2014, 2015, and it was in line with having this high-level meeting in 2016 to again address large movements of people, or refugees and migrants, wherein they had this New York Declaration that says that we need to have a global governance framework of both for migrants and for refugees.
Dan kemudian ketika media meliput secara besar-besaran tentang pengungsian pada tahun 2014-2015, kemudian pertemuan tingkat tinggi PBB menanggapi gerakan besar dari migrasi dan pengungsian ini dengan deklarasi.
And with that, with the Global Compact, they want to really have like a framework that is more operational. So it's putting, what they call it, principled pragmatism, because we already have the conventions on discrimination against women. We already have the Convention on Migrant Workers, on the Rights of the Child. But the member states also don't want to reinvent something new. Rather, they want to reinforce or reaffirm the international standards that is already there, but very much putting it in a practical sense, in a more operational and a more immediate response to the crisis that has been happening mostly in Europe, but then again, as us in Asia and our region try to emphasize that there is also a crisis that has been happening for quite some time.
Ya, jadi memang kerangka ini lebih bersifat operasional dan dengan prinsip-prinsip untuk mempraktekannya gitu. Jadi karena sudah ada konvensi soal hak asasi manusia, soal perlindungan perempuan dan sebagainya. Jadi kerangka ini sebenarnya hanya menegaskan kembali standar-standar internasional yang ada, tapi dalam bentuk yang lebih praktis sebagai respon langsung terhadap krisis yang terjadi. Memang waktu itu kasusnya Eropa, tapi juga yang di Asia menegaskan kembali bahwa krisis yang terjadi di Asia juga sudah terjadi sejak lama.
And in terms of the whole UN system, the Global Compact is the secretariat, or the one coordinating, is the International Organization on Migration, whom we will have later on in the panel as well. But in terms of how they coordinate with the different UN agencies, they're the ones who will work with them, but also to ensure that civil society is also part of it.
Yang akan menjadi yang menjadi pemimpin untuk melakukan gerakan ini adalah Rio, tapi kemudian kita juga akan mereka bekerja sama dengan PBB, Badan Imigrasi PBB.
So just moving forward, so it has been quite a couple of years now, so I'll just briefly discuss the timeline of what has happened. So the first phase is the consultations phase. So this is wherein whether it's government consultation, civil society consultation, private sector, even the trade unions, and even thematic consultations, whether they look at recruitment and decent work, or they look at more on the drivers of migration. A lot of the consultations have happened as well at the national level, regional, and international level. And it's a way to see what are the existing practices that, again, in terms of existing practices on how to manage migration, how to give services and to fulfill the rights of migrants and migrant workers. And that happened in April to November. I think some of you also have been part of this.
Jadi pembahasannya waktu itu fase pertama April 2017 sampai November itu merupakan konsultasi dengan pemerintah, namun juga konsultasi secara tematik. Jadi misalnya tema rekrutmen, tema kerja layak. Kemudian konsultasi ini juga dilakukan secara nasional, regional, internasional untuk mengetahui praktek-praktek yang sudah ada tentang pengelolaan migrasi dan apakah praktek-praktek tersebut sudah memenuhi hak-hak buruh migran.
And because there have been like maybe at least 60 consultations that has happened, in phase 2, that's where they did the stock taking. So of all the good practices and recommendations that they have identified throughout those times from different countries, that's around 193 countries, I think, they try to take stock of what they think at the global level resonates or is similar in the many countries, or in similar within regions that they think can be the priority issues that is now in the compact.
Jadi setelah sekitar 60 konsultasi, fase kedua mereka melakukan pengumpulan dan kemudian melakukan analisa tentang misalnya kebijakan-kebijakan apa yang sudah sama, kemudian menganalisa prioritas masalah dan hal-hal yang perlu dilakukan.
So So hopefully in that the governments have also made consultations with you or with, at the local and national level. And hopefully that also the governments gave you or informed you about such things. But as an initiative, we try to do a civil society to keep people informed about this, especially during the phase 3 of negotiations, of where the government, again, very much trying to have a debate or negotiations on what should be in the compact, what issues should be there. And as governments, especially in our region, we have been encouraging them to make it not too much focused on what the realities are in Europe. Because again, we have been dealing this for quite some time now, and it's only now that they saw the need for it. But then we need to make sure that the global compact reflected the realities of all regions.
Konsultasi pemerintah ini sebenarnya dulunya juga diharapkan bahwa pemerintah juga mengajak masyarakat sipil di negara masing-masing secara nasional untuk menginformasikan tentang global compact, dan kami juga ingin selalu melibatkan dan menginformasikan proses ini kepada masyarakat sipil. Dan pada fase kedua ada negosiasi bahwa supaya isu global compact ini memang tidak hanya membicarakan Eropa, tapi membicarakan fenomena secara global, dan bahwa kebutuhan ini, kebutuhan tentang pengelolaan migrasi adalah kebutuhan global.
And so that's how the Marrakesh Migration Week came about. So after they finished in July 2018, they finalized the Global Compact on what it is now. And in December, we had those 3 international conferences. So the Global Forum on Migration Development, which also talks about the linkages of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, because the way that GCM is also the main practical way to achieve target 10.7 in the SDGs, where it talks about facilitating safe, orderly, and responsible migration.
Nah, kemudian maka ketika sudah dibahas, selesai dibahas pada Juli 2018, maka kemudian dilakukan konferensinya pada Desember kemarin, dan maka kemudian diadakan pekan Maroko ini, dan terutama juga berkaitan dengan tujuan pembangunan berkelanjutan, karena usaha-usaha dalam global compact ini juga untuk mewujudkan tujuan 10.7 untuk memfasilitasi migrasi yang aman dan bertanggung jawab.
And that also comes into one of the conference. There is the adoption of the Global Compact. It's international conference, or international governmental conference, to basically say that, okay, member states have accepted this document. And so far there are 164 member states who have accepted this. And the plan now for that is to have a national action plan per member state on how they would implement the GCM.
Di salah satu konferensinya, negara-negara anggota mengadopsi Global Compact ini. Jadi ada 164 negara yang menandatangani persetujuan ini, dan kemudian negara yang menandatangani ini harus melanjutkannya dengan rencana aksi nasional untuk menerapkannya.
Now, since Indonesia has adopted this as well, it's important, and now we're going to the middle of March. There will be again the Global Forum on Migration and Development, the GFMD, in 2019. There will also be the PGA in 2019. So we want to make sure how the government of the government of Indonesia is very much moving forward with this, and if not, how do we as civil society make sure that they are moving? Thus, that's why we are trying to have this consultation now, and to also ensure that in terms of moving forward, they have there with us, not just as part of implementing what they already have, but being part of the plans that we are trying to have.
Karena Indonesia juga ikut menandatangani, maka hari ini kita melakukan konsultasi nasional untuk memastikan bahwa masyarakat sipil terlibat dan bahwa pemerintah Indonesia melangkah maju untuk melakukan rencana aksi nasional, dan masyarakat sipil terlibat tidak hanya dalam implementasinya tapi juga dalam perencanaan dan berada di dalamnya.
Part of the responsibility that the government should do, especially with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is to make sure that the different ministries know this as well. So whether it's about social protection, there should be something about migrant workers, whether it's about the access to health or education for both migrants themselves and members of their families, how they are also in line with that. At the same time, how do they involve us in terms of whether they want to amend that or not? And that's part of the exercise that we will be doing later on today.
Jadi Kementerian Luar Negeri bertanggung jawab untuk melakukan koordinasi dengan kementerian-kementerian lainnya dalam melakukan perencanaan atau menerapkan global compact ini, misalnya dengan kementerian terkait soal perlindungan sosial, kesehatan, pendidikan, baik untuk buruh migran atau keluarganya.
Ya, terima kasih banyak buat Alexis yang sudah menjelaskan tadi dari latar belakang bagaimana proses sebelum Global Compact Organization itu diadopsi dan juga dinegosiasikan baik oleh pemerintah dan juga masukannya diberikan sama teman-teman CSO. Nah, di sini teman-teman CSO sudah hadir semuanya. Untuk konsultasi ini mungkin Global Compact Organization menjadi salah satu framework atau dokumen baru bagi teman-teman yang bisa jadi alat untuk advokasi. Selain juga ada beberapa dokumen dan juga framework lain seperti konvensi untuk buruh migran tahun 1990, lalu juga ada SDGs untuk pembangunan berkelanjutan, maupun ada ASEAN konsensus di tingkat ASEAN. Untuk teman-teman sendiri yang juga masih mau bertanya bagaimana secara mendalam tentang Global Compact Organization, seperti apa sih yang seharusnya diprioritaskan oleh Indonesia atau oleh buruh migran Indonesia di dalam Global Compact Organization, karena kan banyak sekali poin-poinnya. Jadi silakan teman-teman yang ingin bertanya lebih lanjut yang disesuaikan dengan advokasi di tingkat lokal juga boleh sekali untuk bisa disampaikan kepada Alexis. Terima kasih. Atau butuh sosialisasi dulu sebelumnya. Alexis, do you have any translation on Global Compact Organization in Tagalog, maybe in Philippines?
For that, actually we don't have, but for other countries as well, they're trying to have translation to their own national language. So Philippines no, but Korea they also translate it, and the others also ask bahasa version.
Jadi memang belum ada terjemahannya, bahkan bahasa Tagalog juga belum ada. Yang ada baru bahasa Korea. Tapi semua negara mengusahakan untuk ada terjemahannya ke bahasa nasional masing-masing.
Tapi kalau boleh tahu informasi, maaf saya terlambat, kepala negara mana saja yang ada di Maret?
It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and by default, all of the engagements at the Global Compact is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and they were given the responsibility to make sure that different ministries are also aware of what is happening on Asia.
Jadi yang hadir memang Menlu dan memang yang menandatangani adalah Menlu.
Boleh tahu juga siapa yang kemudian menjadi leading untuk kemudian memastikan teknis-teknis di dalam dokumen yang terpadu ini. Saya lihat bahwa baca sekilas ini banyak hal teknis, tapi pada operasional pertanyaan adalah siapa yang kemudian jadi leading untuk kemudian mensukseskan terlaksananya dokumen.
So it was okay. So in terms of drafting the actual document, it was within the 193 member states who are part of UN, and it's co-facilitated by Mexico and Switzerland. So they in the negotiations, like different member states were raising their issues, raising their recommendations on how even the wordings should be put in the Global Compact. But before that, because it's an intergovernmental way of drafting the document, that was how the other phases were made useful. So the consultation phase. So when that was happening with civil society, there was a push on what the governments should recommend and what the governments should put in the Global Compact. And I think it was really a difficult process because in those 6 months, because if you can imagine, when let's say, to be more practical, 2 people trying to take input of 193 people who are talking on behalf of their countries. So yes, it was a very difficult job, but it was mainly Mexico and Switzerland. And then now, because it is adopted, it goes back to the national level. Again, by default, it's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs who is leading at the national level, and to bring it down to the village level as well.
Jadi yang menulis draftnya memang 193 negara anggota PBB yang waktu itu difasilitasi oleh Meksiko dan Swiss. Jadi semua negara ini semuanya memasukkan isunya, memasukkan kalimatnya dan sebagainya. Antar pemerintah mereka berdebat soal draft ini. Kemudian lalu masyarakat sipil masuk dan memasukkan apa yang perlu dilakukan oleh pemerintah dan rekomendasi lainnya. Jadi ada 6 bulan sebenarnya untuk meringkas dan memasukkan semua isu, dan sekarang ketika sudah diadopsi, ya yang bertanggung jawab adalah Menteri Luar Negeri dari masing-masing negara.
Apakah kemudian kerangka hukum ini, kerangka dokumen terpadu ini sepadan dengan piagam PBB yang memang secara dasar di mana setiap negara anggota itu merelakan sedikit kedaulatannya untuk kemudian mengikuti apa yang telah disepakati bersama dalam dokumen terpadu ini. Atau setingkat dengan rekomendasi.
It's in a way a very practical document because we already have the UN Charter, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and then the other treaties, conventions that we have. This is in the first pages. You see that it reaffirms the commitment of member states or all stakeholders to fulfill those conventions that they have ratified, or at least even by default the one that everyone has committed to, the UDHR and the UN Charter. So it's more how the conventions and the UN Charter is more principles and in theory. The Global Compact is a more operational way of fulfilling those principles. Well, in terms of how binding it is, it's non-legally binding, but then again, because it reaffirms, it basically says that even if the Global Compact is non-legally binding, since the member states are committed to the conventions that they have ratified, but even I think the most basic one is the UDHR. So that's how still it's very much relevant in terms of how much the gravitas or how much weight that the Global Compact has. And in terms of their commitment to fulfill this as well, because it is very much linked to the SDGs, to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Member states are also committed to that, and their national action plans and then their national development plans are very much linked to the SDGs. That's why in the specific target 10.7, they are somewhat morally committed to implement this global compact.
Jadi sebenarnya lebih ke dokumen praktis sih sebenarnya yang pada halaman awalnya kalau kita membaca itu menegaskan komitmen negara-negara untuk sebenarnya memenuhi konvensi-konvensi yang sudah diratifikasi dan terutama juga piagam PBB. Jadi memang tidak mengikat secara hukum, tapi dia adalah dokumen yang operasional dan relevan dengan SDG, karena di dalam SDG sendiri negara-negara juga sudah memberikan komitmennya. Jadi ini ada nilainya adalah menghubungkannya dengan komitmen lainnya dan terutama dengan yang mengikat adalah dengan konvensi-konvensi yang sudah diratifikasi, dengan piagam PBB dan dengan SDG.
So it might be of importance also that if the Indonesia government is up for review on CEDAW, or then maybe we can try to see how GCM is implemented in the perspective of migrant women, and likewise if it's the same convention on the rights of people with disability, then how do we put that lens of those migrants and migrant workers who are disabled or who have become disabled because of, let's say, the issues that they have faced in labor migration. So in that way we can try to go in, so maybe not just dependent on GFMD or 2050 agenda, but the treaty bodies as well.
Jadi juga tidak hanya melihat agenda GFMD ini secara terpisah, tapi misalnya kalau Indonesia menyerahkan laporan CEDAW perlindungan terhadap kekerasan dan perempuan, isu migran ini kemudian menjadi salah satu laporan yang ada di dalamnya.
So maybe just to end, the Global Compact may be something new in itself by having a framework, but what is being discussed there, what is already being done, is actually already in many ways existing to us. It's just that it's framed in a way that it is applicable to all realities of the 193 member states, not just one region, not just one country. So this is not new information in that sense. It's not really reinventing the wheel, but trying to know more of what is out there, what are the good practices, and how do we learn from that, as well as what are the other gaps. And in many ways, that's actually what we will be doing later on today. So to start, I guess, to connect with the next session, to know about the realities or the current situation in Indonesia, which they will be sharing more in detail.
Jadi memang isi dari dokumen ini, isi dari kerangka ini sebenarnya tidak baru karena sudah ada sebelumnya. Yang berbeda adalah di aplikasinya, dokumen ini mencoba melihat realita terpadu dari 190 negara dan kita nanti akan berdiskusi bagaimana menghubungkannya dengan situasi Indonesia.
Ya, baik, terima kasih semuanya. Itu tadi statement dengan kesimpulan dari Alexis tentang Global Compact on Migration. Kita beri tepuk tangan dulu untuk Alexis. Mudah-mudahan kita bisa diskusi lebih lanjut di sesi berikutnya. Terima kasih semuanya.